So now we're sitting here and these people are good for nothing. They are saying that we have to pay in cash and their card machine is not working. I don't understand how a card machine is not working. Doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. So now we're at the airport and we just got done arguing with these dumbass motherfuckers. Yeah! Fucking idiots, bro. This is crazy. $420 that should not have been spent because we overstayed our visa and we went to immigration and all the immigration offices were closed, and now we're sitting here arguing with these coon-ass, idiot-ass Ethiopian people at the airport who think they're better than people and don't know how to speak English properly, when if there's someone that can speak English properly, they need to fucking come here and be able to communicate with us because we're having an issue. There's obviously a lack of communication. And now they're having issues with their card machine and they're like, do you have cash? No, we don't have American cash. We've been here for 2 months. This is crazy. We've been here for 2 months. Greetings, family. Grand Rising. This is Marilyn, your distant relative. And this is going to be a longer video, but before I go into what you just saw, I'd like for you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. This content is definitely, oh man, grandma and grandpa, they getting it in. This is definitely like very emotionally draining, this video, so definitely give me a like and subscribe, and thank you to those who have already done it. So let me preface this with, when we were in the car leaving, going to the airport, I was crying because I did not want to leave Ethiopia. That was the first time I ever felt like I was like home, as I've explained in other videos. There was a certain type of emotional and spiritual connection that I've had to Ethiopia, and I'm smiling right now because I'm putting myself back in that emotion because it was so raw and so real, and I miss it. You know, I really miss Ethiopia. However, when we got to the airport, we went to get our boarding passes, and the Ethiopian Airlines lady was like, go to immigration because your visa's expired. Now, for those of you who already know what the deal was, when we went to the immigration office last month or the month before, they told us, just to recap, we went to the immigration to extend our visas, and they told us that we were going to be okay. They're like, oh, all the immigration offices are closed right now. No problem. Just go to the airport and you'll be able to leave. No one's extending their visas right now because, sorry, I'm like out of breath because I'm walking and I'm out of shape. No one's extending their visas right now because we're all closed. So when you go to the airport, you'll be fine. And remember, we were like, who knows what's going to happen? You know, who knows what's going to happen? Wait till you hear this shit. So we go to the immigration and they're like, first of all, they're treating us like dogs. They're treating us like crap. They're so rude. You know, obviously we speak English and we're trying to communicate with the person who's helping us and the supervisor. And they're speaking to each other in Amharic and they're not communicating what's going on to us in English. So that right there was just terrible. Now, if we were a different skin color, I'm telling you, they would have treated us differently. So continuing my story, we were asking them, like, the immigration offices were closed. What's going on? Like, why are we having an issue right now? And they're like, you have to pay $420 US dollars to leave the country, to get an exit visa. And we're like, but we went to the immigration offices and they said that they were closed and they're not issuing visas. So how would we know to come to the airport to get this fixed, you know? Because they were saying, oh, you have to you should have come to the airport to extend your visa. And we're like, but we went to 2 main immigration offices and they said, no problem, no problem. You know, they never told us to come to the airport. So now that we're here at the airport, we have to pay $420. So we're arguing with them, like, we don't have the money, this is ridiculous. How does your immigration offices tell us that we're gonna be okay, but then we come here and now we have to pay? And they're like, oh, well, that's not our problem, like, too bad, blah, blah, blah. So after all the arguing and lots of me getting super heated, they're like, okay, we're like, all right, you know what, we're gonna go pay. So we go to the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, which, by the way, is some shit. I hope someone from Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is watching this, and I hope someone from Addis Ababa International Airport is watching this. Your service is trash. All of your workers are trash. You need to get people that are more competent to work at your facility. Especially if you work at an international airport, you should have multilingual people that work there. And if they're not multilingual, then you should not hire them. And especially people like you have, your market is so big for English-speaking people, Europeans, for French-speaking people, and for Mandarin-speaking people. So if you don't have someone that can fluently speak that and communicate to people who are having issues, then you shouldn't hire them. That was just a side note. Anyway, so we go to pay, and this is what really blew me. We go to pay, they swipe our card at least 15 times, 20 times they swipe our card. Oh, our card machine is down. I was like, so after all this time, like, we've been saying, we've been arguing with you back and forth, and now we go to pay and your card machine is down. So we're like, okay, we can go get Burr. Like, we'll go walk to the ATM and take out Burr. They're like, we're Commercial Bank of Ethiopia and we don't take Burr. I was like, what do you mean you don't take Burr? So what currency do you take in Ethiopia? They're like, oh, we take US cash only. So where the fuck are we supposed to get $420 worth of US cash? And we've been in Ethiopia for the past 2 months. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So I was arguing with the people. Mind you, I don't care if I sound racist, by the way. I asked a bunch of Asian people, probably they were Chinese, and they all were very rude to me. I asked them if I could CashApp them or Venmo them money, and then they give me American cash because they always have American cash on them. They carry thousands of dollars of it with them. So I asked a bunch of them, and they all were very rude to me, so I don't part with them no more. But anyway, we tried everything, and then this girl who spoke pretty fluent English, she's like, she works for Ethiopian Airlines. She's like, oh, you could go take out Burr of the ATM, take out Burr from the ATM, and then go to the taxi cab people outside and ask them for American cash. I was like, are you a fucking idiot? Like, you must be like smoking on crack or something. Like, whatever type of Ethiopian crack you're smoking it. So we did not do that. And then we had to call the supervisor, call the manager. We got there at 7 for a 10:40 flight. 10:15 rolls around, the supervisor comes. He's like, oh, if you have $250 worth of cash, US cash, you could just go. So luckily, we had $280 worth of cash on us. We gave him $250, got our exit visas, went to the boarding lady, we got our boarding passes. We did not board the flight. Our flight was at 10:40. We did not board the flight, physically stepping onto the plane, until 10:30 because of all that. I was so livid, like, we were so livid. I don't even know how to, like, explain my emotion. I feel like I'm kind of, like, toning it down right now because it's been a week since this happened, and I'm also walking and out of breath. But I feel like if y'all understand like all the nonsense that we went through, like you'd feel my pain and be extra pissed. So to add to this, right? So this week we look on our credit card, right, that they had swiped 15 to 20 times, and there's 2 charges for $420 on my credit card. I'm pissed. Darian brought it to my attention. So it's impossible for us to call from America to Ethiopia because their telecoms are controlled by the government, and it's like we tried to call them, no call. To see, let me preface this with, we lost our receipt because all that stress and then traveling, we were like, fuck, we have a receipt that we paid in cash, but now we have two charges on our card, but the receipt is lost, and it probably got lost in transit because we were traveling and stressed out and just all over the place. We also lost one of our carry-on bags, but in any case, we lost the receipt. And I try to call my bank. By the way, Barclays, you're some trash. Another bank that's trash. They're a terrible financial institution. I'm definitely balance transferring and going to a different card. But anyway, or a different institution. They say, oh, we see that you got charged twice, but there's nothing we can do about it because you need a receipt to prove it, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, so can you guys try to call the immigration office and see if you can, get verification? And they're like, well, we don't call the merchant unless we have a receipt. And I'm like, do you understand how much, I explained the story to them and everything, and they don't want to help at all. I understand that they're just doing their jobs, but it's I've been a loyal Barclays customer for 7 years, 8 years, I think, and they don't want to help me. I pay all my payments on time, my credit score high. They don't want to help me at all with this. Even if they see that there's 2 charges, you should at least take 1 charge off, no questions asked, In any case, they're not helping at all. So I guess to conclude that, we're gonna be stuck with this, these 2 charges because of these idiot people. I also emailed Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, but I haven't gotten any response. So pretty much leaving Ethiopia was terrible. And I can't even stress to you guys enough that if you're going to go to an African country and leave an African country, make sure you have all your immigration stuff, visas. Make sure you have all of that in line before you go and before you leave. And I'm gonna do another video on advice. I think Darian wants to do that video, but just make sure you have all your legal papers in a row, because you're gonna get stuck with some crap if you try to leave. And especially Ethiopia, because Ethiopia immigration is some trash. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is some trash. But yeah, my experience, that was super stressful and super scary, and it was just a lot of stress, undue stress that we did not need. So just make sure you have everything in a row. That's my advice to you. Sorry this video is extra long, but I needed the time to explain it. And yeah, hopefully everything works out with the credit card stuff, and if not, it is what it is. Now we know it's a learning lesson. Unfortunately, it's a lot of money that we have to pay, but at least, we learned something out of it. So if that's what we have to pay, then it is what it is. So thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video and, riding it out with me through this and walking and my panting and stuff and my emotions. So thank you again. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Marilyn, your distant relative. Peace out.